What are the biggest indicators that a relationship is not going to last?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is Queen Gregory and I am here today to do a reaction video to this video that I seen that was talking about the John Gottman's Four Horsemen. And I wanted to talk about this subject because a lot of times we think that we know it all when it comes to relationships. And there are certain tools and resources out here that can help us to be better. However, people have the tools and the resources, but they don't choose to use them. And so I wanted to put this to the forefront. There are certain things that I don't agree with when it comes to if you black and you watching this video, not saying that, certain advice isn't helpful, but I think from a black perspective,
is really European psychology and is based upon the European experience.
the way that some of us were raised, I'm not going to say all, but the way that some of us were raised and we try to implement these things when a lot of people have not done self work, a lot of people have not mastered themselves.
We try to transfer that psychology to black people to try to explain the black psyche in terms of a psychology that's not related to the history and experience of black people is really to misuse that psychology and to mislead black people.
And so you're trying to implement a system that's new and you could be implementing that system, but that doesn't mean that the other person has implemented that system. That doesn't mean that the other person has learned what they need to learn in order to meet you halfway. One person might be doing the work and the other person may not be doing the work. So guess what? Now y'all looking crazy. But we're going to get into what she said and I'm going to keep giving my commentary as we go. So here we go.
What are the biggest indicators that a relationship is not going to last? Like, what are you listening to when you're talking to someone? You go, okay, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
What are your indicators?
So the four biggest predictors within 5 years, actually, they'll predict divorce are contempt, criticism, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Number one is contempt.
So we're going to stop right there. So when we talk about contempt, right, I'm going to give you the textbook definition of contempt. Contempt, according to Google, is the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath you, worthless. You basically disrespecting a person. But that's pretty much what I was going to say. It's when you talk down to a person, when you think you're better than someone. It's that type of attitude. And even with the criticism aspect, and I think this is where I have a different opinion on criticism. There's criticism, there's genuine concern, and then there's feedback. I think sometimes people, when they have not heard someone address certain things and when they're not comfortable with addressing certain things, they will then project that back to you to say, oh, you're criticizing me or you're being hard. And then they will get defensive because once again, that person does not know how to speak up for themselves. That person does not know how to speak up to a need that they also have. So now they're harboring in resentment because they have a problem with you speaking up on it. And also, once again, like I said, criticism, there's constructive criticism and there's destructive criticism. Either way it goes, certain criticism can help you. Do you want to know how some people begin to go to their next relationship and possibly they were better? It was because majority of the time they heard something from that person and once again they alchemized it and they said, oh, this person said that I was a bad communicator. All right. My last girl said I was a bad communicator too. My last dude said that I wasn't affectionate. Okay, cool. How do we take those things and we become better? How do we say, all right, that person said that, let me work on this. Now you moving along to the next relationship and you have gotten better. You have gotten better because you listened. You listened and you did the work. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Let me see what else she got to say. The phone is locked back up. All right, let's see.
Obviously, actually, in straight relationships, that's coming mostly from women. Women tend to be the ones that raise the complaint.
And once again, like I said, the complaint is being raised because clearly there is a need there. So when someone is coming to you with a criticism, or you feel that it's a criticism, you're taking it on as this person is attacking me. This is a criticism. This is a criticism. All right. You know, those are moments where that person is trying to communicate to you something that they need, something that they need from you, something that they want from you. This will make me feel better if you could give this to me. That is a part of understanding your partner's needs. So a lot of times, you know, we look at this as a negative thing, but then you wake up one morning and you're in a situation where this person walks away from you, but you don't understand why, because they've been saying the same thing over and over again. But one thing about it, two things for sure I've learned is if somebody is complaining to you, or somebody is giving you a criticism, or somebody is giving you feedback, or however you want to take it, once that person stops doing that, it's over. Wrap it up, because the relationship is over. Once you don't hear nothing else from them and nothing else is coming out of their mouth, it's over with. You can forget about it. All right, let's keep it moving.
Ideal way we can do it is called a gentle startup, where we say, hey, honey, you want to really think about like things they do well in life, so you don't come in hot. And you're also we want to reduce the focus to a specific event and behavior, not expand it into the character of the individual.
So I don't know who watching this, but once again, Black people, because I'm specifically talking to y'all, I grew up a certain way. My people don't talk like this. So trying to learn this formula to talk like this is cool. But once again, think about certain backgrounds people come from. If you come from a certain background, you're not going to say, hey, honey, hi. Like, I get it. But once again, you can soften the approach. Of course, you can learn how to communicate with a different tone. But once again, you also have to realize who you are as a person. It's not going to always be a one size fits all. And this is what I say. This is what I preach about. Because people want to take these things and they want it to be tailored. They want to tailor and make everybody one way, so everybody could be showing to their partner, hey, honey. Like, I get it. But once again, certain people don't move that way. And certain people have a zero tolerance for you to tell them anything about themselves. So what does that say? That person who has that zero tolerance, and they're the person who always are defensive, they're the person who always blah, blah, blah. Those are the people who need to work on also how they respond to somebody giving the criticism. So the person who's giving the criticism needs to learn how to have a certain type of tone. And the person on the other end needs to learn how to accept the criticism. Now, this is it. I'm not getting into no more of this video, because I feel like I done drove my point home. And that's just all I got to say about it. So y'all let me know in the comments, how do you take on criticism in your relationship? And especially if you somebody who is Black, are you using these methods in your relationship to be better? I want to know, because like I said, I've put these things into practice. I've done these things. However, once again, some people struggle when it comes to us. We struggle with communication. That's the problem. A lot of people were not taught to how to communicate. I grew up in a family where certain things weren't discussed, certain things weren't talked about. They were swept under the rug. We didn't talk about these things. If I grew up a certain way, now I'm trying to unlearn these things. How do I unlearn these things when the person or the other person ain't trying to unlearn these things? It's just so many factors once again, and we trying to do a one size fits all. We can't do that. So here again, let me know. Sorry, y'all went on a whole nother tangent, but let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.